Hi everyone, it's Mr. Francy back here again. If you are new, hello and welcome. And if you are returning, hello and welcome back. I hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful June. Let's jump right in. This is my weekly vlog covering from the 17th through to and including the 23rd of June 2024. I nearly said 2023 there, interestingly. Alright, I'm trying to set up a poll here as well as over on the Discord. So if you'd like to let me know in the comments below or over on the Discord, please do. When it comes to the fourth week, the final week of vlogs, do you still want a vlog as well as the monthly wrap, or does the monthly wrap suffice in place of the vlog? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below or over on the Discord, because for the past couple of months I've just been doing the wrap up instead of the vlog, but if you want more dedicated time to certain things, I can do a vlog as well if you'd prefer. Alright, for those of you who are new, I have 3 chapters in the table of contents for my weekly vlogs. The first being a life update, the second being my watching, so what have I been watching, TV shows, movies, things like that, and then we get into my reading, talking about everything that I have read. So without any further ado, let's jump right on into a life update. Not a whole lot to report on the life update front. Yeah, I'm getting better as time goes on. As I reported in my last weekly vlog, I had already tested negative for COVID, but what was lingering with me was the lethargy, feeling exhausted, like you have no energy. And what I've discovered is that that's really playing with my body clock in as far as when I'm sleeping and when I'm awake. And yeah, so that's not good. I'm trying to fix that. And also, I'm not having a lot of sleep. Like I might sleep for say 2 hours or 1 hour and then wake up again, and then fall asleep for maybe another hour and then wake up again. So yeah, that sort of thing is happening. But yeah, aside from that, not a whole lot to report that I won't be discussing in the other 2 tables of the contents in any case. So we will move on to them. Okay, so let's talk about what I have been watching, because yeah, I've been watching Seventh Heaven. Let's put up an image of Seventh Heaven Season 2, and I am currently up to, so have not watched yet, Season 2, Episode 19. There are 22 episodes in Season 2, 22 episodes I think in every season, but in Season 2, and I was hoping to match the episodes with the date of the month. In other words, I was hoping to watch episode 5 on the 5th, episode 15 on the 15th, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we're obviously at the 23rd now, and I still have 4 episodes left where I wanted to have Seventh Heaven done by now. So I'm planning on doing a bit of a binge during the course of the upcoming week of those final 4 episodes, and then getting into the next thing that I plan to watch, which we'll talk about momentarily. But let's first discuss Seventh Heaven. My goodness, do I love this show. Now, I've mentioned this in other vlogs as well, because I feel it ought to be mentioned. There is such a thing as freedom of religion, the freedom to choose what religion you are a part of, or the freedom to choose not to be religious if you don't want to be. The reason I bring this up is because there is an undercurrent of religion in Seventh Heaven. In saying that, Seventh Heaven is not completely doused in religion, and what I love about Seventh Heaven is the morals and values that everyone in the family learns. And week by week, episode by episode, we highlight different characters going through different things that, you may expect any human to go through no matter what age. And the perfect thing being that currently there are 7 people living in the same home. The churches home, and they are all of various ages. We have Ruthie, who I think is like in preschool at the moment. We have Simon, who I think is in elementary school or just starting high school. Lucy, who is in high school. Mary, who's about a year or so older than Lucy. And Matt is probably going to graduate high school very soon. And then we've got the two parents, Annie, who is a stay-at-home mum, and Eric, who is the minister of the church. So yeah, all different interesting things going on with the children as well as the adults, which is really, you know, I love that they just pausing there for a very loud bike. I love that they share the stories and the things that they go through. No one is ever left out. Anytime you may think, oh, but Simon hasn't had a story. Well, that very next episode, Simon gets his story. Oh, but it's been a while since we've heard from, you wouldn't say that about Lucy, but it's been a while since we've had a story revolving around Matt. Oh, well, the very next episode, there you go. There's a story about Matt. So it's very equal across the board with everyone going through different things and the things that they learn from those things, which is fantastic. Of course, there is also the evolution of the characters growing up. There was a sense of immaturity in season 1, especially with the children, but I think that that was because they wanted to really flesh out the main themes that they could go through. For example, one of the stories that I remember with Matt is that he was smoking cigarettes and they wanted to deal with that. One example with Mary is something that hasn't come up yet, so I'll let that go. Lucy always being emotional, but she's less emotional in season 2 than she was in season 1. Ruthie being extremely codependent, especially of Simon in season 1, but now towards the end of season 2, she's a lot more independent. Yeah, and just, you know, all different things like that. If anything, the maturity level has probably gone down a little bit for Matt. Despite the smoking episode that we get in season 1, there are certain things that Matt has done in season 2 that he knows isn't necessarily the right thing to do, but he does it anyway. And it's interesting because, I mean, there's so much I can unpack with Seventh Heaven, but just specifically going down this path because I do love Matt. He is my favorite character in the show. Barry Watson plays him so well. Is that sometimes he does the wrong thing for the wrong reasons, and sometimes he does the wrong thing for the right reason. And even though there is that great saying out there, wrong things done for the right reason are still the wrong thing, it's much more understandable if he's doing, you know, the wrong thing for the right reason. Why is that so hard to say? Yeah, so very, very interesting. There was an episode that came up in, I believe it was in season 2. I'll just check. Okay, yep. So just quickly, I'm going to discuss something very briefly here because I have nothing but praise for the show Seventh Heaven for the first 4 seasons. Anyway, the rest I can discuss in bigger detail in its own dedicated video, but there is an episode that I don't like from Seventh Heaven. I just want to warn you all that this does feature the theme of drugs, so if that doesn't interest you, then please, you know, skip along until you see a book, and then you know we're in the book section, or until you see something that's not Seventh Heaven related. But anyway, I am going to be talking to you about the episode called Who Knew? Knew, Who Knew? And this is season 2, episode 4. Okay, now this episode revolves around sorry, just a moment. This episode revolves around Matt, who is invited to a party by his high school friends because it's going to be fun and they're going to drink and smoke and whatever. And Matt very maturely says that he has a lot of homework, so he's not going to go and he's going to stay home. His friend ends up taking a joint out of his pocket and putting it into Matt's breast pocket of his shirt and walking away. Matt then, not knowing what to do with the joint, takes makes it home. And when he gets home, the first being that he encounters is Happy, the family dog. He bends down to pat Happy, and the joint falls out of him, out of the pocket onto the floor to where Happy is. And then Matt walks away. Happy picks up the joint and takes it directly to Eric. And Eric is trying to find out who has brought marijuana into the house. This, and I'm sorry to spoil the episode, but I want to get to the point of why this annoys me, because a lot of the episodes, as I say, every other episode I love, but this one just annoys me. What then ends up happening is, while Eric is interrogating all of the kids to find out who it is, Annie, privately to Eric, admits that she has smoked marijuana in the past, which Eric has a very big overreaction to. It just in my opinion, but anyway, he does, like, how did I not know this? And, you know, oh my God, I can't believe I married you, and whatever. I mean, they've been together so long and 5 kids, like, come on. But anyway, it's in the past. But anyway, they eventually get it out of Matt that, well, Matt's words are, "It's mine," referring to the joint, even though it's not his. It was the friend put it in his pocket. It's not his. And had he actually said, "It's not mine, I'm holding it for a friend," this would be the one time that is true, because Matt never seemed to intend to smoke the joint. He never looked motivated at all to do that. Anyway, so then we get to the point that I really don't like. Matt is outside playing basketball, just, you know, on his own solo basketball, shooting hoops, whatever, out in the backyard. And he comes out and has a chat with him about what happens when she smoked pot when she was younger. She, a girlfriend, and her girlfriend's boyfriend were in his basement, the girlfriend's boyfriend's basement. They were smoking pot. And then the boyfriend got behind the wheel of his car and ended up in an accident. And he smashed into a phone wire pole thing, and her and the girlfriend, when they got the call, they were still high, and they went down there and they saw him dead, and it changed everything for them. And what really annoys me about this, and I'm sorry to get on my high horse about it, but first of all, Matt has never smoked weed at all in the entirety of the season up to now. He's never shown any intention that he was going to smoke it. All they know that he did was he brought it into the house. They haven't even taken a moment to ask him why he brought it into the house. To this point, with both parents, Matt is extremely trusting, so it's out of character for the parents to just assume he is smoking when he's not. And also, the dramatic side of Annie telling Matt this story really annoys me. We have these great commercials in Australia. We don't have them for drugs, but we do have them for alcohol. And they are these responsible alcohol commercials that at the end, that will show a dramatization of someone being in an accident or getting injured owing to drinking and driving. And at the end of each of these commercials comes the verbal and written tagline. Forgive me for the words, I'm going to quote it verbatim. "If you drink and drive, you're a bloody idiot." Now, bloody idiot was terminology used back in the day to emphasize someone being an idiot. Now, obviously, things are different. I don't like the word stupid. I don't like the word idiot. I'm literally just quoting what Dad was saying. If you drink and drive, you're a bloody idiot. The same thing can be said if you take drugs and you drive. And what really surprised me with the way Annie was conveying this story to her son, that she's implicitly trusted to this point, is the problem never seemed to be that when she was younger, she and her friends smoked pot. The problem was when she and her friends were younger and they smoked pot, her girlfriend's boyfriend, high, got in his car to go and get snacks. Had he just stayed home, he probably would have been fine. And I'm not trying to advocate the smoking of pot at all. What I am trying to make the point of is the over-dramatization of this message that they were trying to bring about. And I'm not the only person that feels this way. Feel free to do the research online. A lot of people agreeing with my thoughts, and it just always left a really bad taste in my mouth. And, whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty, Matt is put on metaphorical trial, assumed guilty purely because he brought this joint into the house. And being the Camden home, they're all about, talking things out, having a chat rather than jumping to assumptions. But with Matt in this this episode, they just jumped to the assumption that because he bought a joint in the house, clearly he is smoking. And they didn't even think to get him drug tested or anything like that. It was just, he's guilty, that's it. Here's Annie's story. Anyway, I needed to have a complaining moment about Seventh Heaven because up till that point, I loved every episode. Since that episode, I've loved every episode. But that one, grinded my gears. Okay, so that's the focus of what I'm watching, my TBW to be watched section. So I'm going to complete the final 4 episodes, binge them during this week, and I'm going to start the next the next show that I'm going to watch, which I haven't seen for quite some time. And I'm really getting back into shows that I watched when I was younger, which is why I'm watching Seventh Heaven at the moment. And at some point, probably later on in the year, I'm going to get back to Brothers and Sisters. How many of you out there love Brothers and Sisters as much as I do the TV show? Let me know in the comments below. I miss that show. If I could watch Seventh Heaven and Brothers and Sisters in tandem, I think I would just be filled with way too much love. But anyway, to have a nice dichotomy, I'm going to, once I've finished season 2 of Seventh Heaven, start season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. So very, very different. Seventh Heaven versus Buffy in the whole lightness with Seventh Heaven and darkness with Buffy. But anyway, it's, it creates balance. Oh, just run with me. It creates balance, okay? All right, so that's my goal. And we'll be able to check in next time when we check in, and I'll be able to talk to you about wrapping up season 2 of Seventh Heaven and starting season 1 of Buffy. When I finish season 1 of Buffy, I'm going to go back to season 3 of Seventh Heaven, then finish season 3 of Seventh Heaven, go on to season 2 of Buffy, then go to season 4 of Seventh Heaven, season 3 of Buffy, and then I'm done with Seventh Heaven because I only want to watch the first 4 seasons, because if you know, you know. And if you know, what you know is that what happens with Mary in season 5, my heart just can't take it. So I'm not watching season 5 or the rest of the show after season 4. But anyway, let's now move on. We've got so many other things to talk about. Next thing I want to talk to you about before we get on to reading is a lovely game. A lovely game called Sims 4. Okay, how much time do you have? Oh my gosh. So very recently I discovered that I could download my purchased whatever you call it, I think it's called CD-ROM, of Sims 4 onto my laptop, which is fantastic. Well, actually, no, I couldn't put the CD-ROM in there, but it's... For gamers out there, give me a sec as I explain in my very much non-gamer way of terminology how this all works. So, Sims 4 is, the game is played through an application, EA Games. EA Games being a company, the EA Games app. So what happens is you have the app. It used to be something else, but they've updated to EA Games now. You, download it into your EA Games app and then it's always there. So what I did was I downloaded my the EA Games app onto my laptop and then downloaded my Sims game that I'd already put into my EA Games app onto my laptop to see if it would work, because I was scared that it wouldn't, and it did. And I've been playing a ton of Sims lately. And not surprisingly, given what I'm watching at the moment, the current game that I'm playing is a Seventh Heaven game. Yeah, I've created a house. I've got all the characters that are in season 2 except for the Reverend Camden. I just didn't want him in the house. So I have my own Annie, I have Simon, I have Mary, I have Lucy, I have, I'm going the wrong way with this. I have Annie, I have Matt, I have Mary, I have Lucy, I have Simon, and I have Ruthie. And I also downloaded I think it was an expansion pack or an add-on. I don't know what all the add-ons are called, but an add-on that's cats and dogs where you can add pets into the house. And because I thought Simon has Happy the dog in the TV show, but I wanted to have a cat in the house, so I got a cat in the house, got over having the cat in the house, so removed the cat quite quickly, purchased a whole ton of different add-ons, which is just insane. If you knew me, you would know why that is insane. I'm not a gamer by any stretch of the imagination, because to me, standard games out there that gamers play are way too complicated for me. If I need to do more, then click a mouse or hit a couple of buttons on the keyboard, then it's overly complicated for me. It may not be for you, but it is for me. And so if I need to go into a menu, get into a quest, dress up my character, go into that quest, press down on the mouse while holding an arrow on the keyboard. No. I'm stressed out already with all the different things I need to do. Like, a friend of mine plays, is it called Skyrim, I think, and where else? All those complicated ones for me. Like, no. And you know what? Sims is perfect for that, because the only time that you use the keyboard is the arrows to move the camera angle to make it easier to, see all the different angles of the house and the characters. Otherwise, you're just literally clicking with the mouse, which is wonderful for me. But I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. The reason I'm quickly mentioning it here is because I was saying to a friend of mine, now I don't gamble, and that is because when I was younger, much younger, at least 10, 15 years ago, I went to the pokies. I spent my entire paycheck, lost everything, and learnt a lesson. We'll go through things for a reason. I will not go to the pokies again, the poker machines ever again. I'm done. I'm good. But I was saying to a friend of mine who also, the one that plays Skyrim, but who's also played Sims before, and Harry Potter and whatever. I was saying to my friend, Sims is in a way like the pokies and like casinos, in that you can be there for what you think is 5 minutes, but it ends up being 6 hours. Because back in my day, the poker machines didn't have the time, and there were no clocks around, so you couldn't see what the time was. And in the Sims game, while they have a time, it's Sims world time, not your time zone. And the days go by quicker, so you have no clue. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Sims. I had to make a point of it here, because if I didn't, I'd regret it. I've been playing so much Sims at the moment. It's been great. I have I just quickly need to mention this as well. I have the university pack, the university expansion pack, because I wanted to experience university. I was hoping I could go to university, to the classes with my university, Sims, but I couldn't. I purchased the high school pack, found out you can go to class with the high school sim, got over that after going to the class once. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm good. They can go on their own. But anyway, I'm having an absolute blast. All right, let's move on to reading, because we don't have a lot of time left, and I have a lot to discuss as far as reading is concerned. Alright, I have less than 8 minutes, so I'm going to fly through this. If I end up talking too fast, please feel free to slow me down. Just click the cogwheel and slow down the speed, and all will be fine. I read 4 books in the past week, which is fantastic. I have caught completely up to my schedule. I was way behind last time. The first book I read this week was this book, Lethal Lobster by Hope Callahan. This is book number 3 in the Millie Cruise Ship Mystery Series. It's an adult cozy mystery, and I gave this book 4 stars. I'm just going to tell you my thoughts. I'll tell you the premise in the monthly wrap, because I just want to save time so I don't have to talk a million miles an hour. But my thoughts on this book was, it was a great book, and I really do love this series so far. It's really fun being on the cruise line with Millie and to be hanging out with her friends. Sadly, the reveals continue to let me down. While this one was better lengthwise, I called the killer within the first quarter of the book, as it was obvious. That said, I love the series and can't wait to keep going, and I gave it 4 stars. The next book that I read was the very next book in the series, Deadly Deception by Hope Callahan, book number 4 in the Millie's Cruise Ship Mystery Series. Once again, an adult cozy mystery, and I gave this book 4.5 stars. So to my thoughts on this one, good improvement on book 3. Really enjoyed this one. However, again, the reveal was way too quick. Love Millie, love the ending, new occurring character in the series, and the plot was incredibly intriguing. So yeah, just quickly surmising, I love this series a lot. It's just when it comes to the reveal kind of happens where it's like, okay, this person is the killer, and they're now going to explain why they were the killer and what got them to that point in like 2.5 pages. And it just really annoys me because the payoff for me in any form of a mystery is getting the reveal. And so I would rather a whole chapter of like 10 pages, if not 2 chapters, like 20 pages in a standard book and a cozy. One chapter could be 3 pages, but I'd love 10 to 15 to 20 pages explaining the reveal to me rather than 2 cozy mystery book size pages, 2.5 cozy mystery book size pages of I'm the killer, here's how I did it, here's why, okay, bye, because I've now been arrested, and it's just too quick. But other than that, loving the cruise line, loving following Millie, loving Millie's friends, love the dog, I keep forgetting the dog's name, but I love the dog that she looks after as well. Fantastic stuff. The next book that I read was this book, Practice Makes Perfect by Jane Northcote. It's book number 3 in the Housemates series. It is a adult LGBTIQ plus book, and I gave this book a total of 5 stars. Please be warned that this whole series so far is definitely a 5 out of 5 spice level, so just be warned for that if you do go in. It is mainly a spicy series. That's the whole point of it. But there is plot and character development, but the majority of all of the books in this series I've read so far, the purpose is the spice, and then there's just little bits of filler that allow the plot to move forward and the characters to grow. Anyway, my thoughts on this one was I love this book as much as I've loved the others so far in the series. Yes, there are spicy scenes that are 10 out of 10 spice, but the character development for such a short book is perfection. I also got really emotional at the end, really loved getting to know both Dev and Ewan as well as their differences, and really appreciated the fact that it was dual perspective, as I needed both perspectives and not just one. Fantastic book that I simply could not fault. 5 stars. Yeah, literally, I could not think of any con in the book. So that's why it deserves 5 stars. I'm being more stingy with my stars these days. Like, if I can't fault you, you need to get 5 stars. Like, you just do. But anyway, yeah, loving it. And now I've read the first 3. There are 5 books in this series. So finally, I finished this book today. The next book that I read was the Mina Lima, Minalima edition of Snow White and Other Grimm's Fairy Tales by the Brothers Grimm and Mina Lima. This is a children's classic book of Snow White and other tales that the Grimm's brothers wrote, and I gave this book 4 stars. To my thoughts, all in all, really enjoyed the compendium of Grimm's tales. However, as an average, I can go no higher than 4 stars. I will, however, give a shout out to Cinderella. Spoiler here, who knew that the fairy godmother in the Cinderella films was completely made up? It's not, the fairy godmother is not in the original book. The way that Cinderella ends up achieving what she achieves is another way, no fairy godmother. But anyway, so wow, didn't know that. A lesser known tale, Mother Holly, had a great moral to the story. And The Wolf and the 7 Little Kids, I loved the ending, and as well as The Elves and the Shoemaker was incredibly adorable. I definitely recommend to those who love classics, the classics, as they were originally written, and as I said, I gave it 4 stars. So let's quickly look ahead and see what I plan to read for the rest of this upcoming week, which, I mean, after this week, there's only 1 day left in the month, but anyway, I'm going to be reading Blossom's Blackmail and Barbecue by Tonya Kappas, book number 20 in the Campers and Criminals series. And then I'm going to read Lanterns, Lakes and Larceny, which is book number 21 in the Campers and Criminals series. Then I'm going to read Jackets, Jack-O-Lanterns and Justice, which is book number 22 in the Campers and Criminals series. And then I'm going to read 5 Go Off to Camp. which is again a children's classic by Enid Blyton. So yeah, I probably will actually do a weekly vlog on Sunday the 29th, and then still do a wrap up on the 30th. But anyway, I will leave that there. Still would love to hear your opinion if you'd like to have final week reading vlogs if the monthly wrap is still in that week as well. But in the meantime, I'm going to let you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do be kind and love one another and spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, happy reading. Bye, everyone.